Druids within the circle of wildfire understand that destruction is sometimes the precursor of creation, such as when a forest fire promotes later growth. These druids bond with a primal spirit that harbors both destructive and creative power, allowing the druids to create controlled flames that burn away one thing but give life to another.
Circle's on fire. It's a wildfire feeling hot, hot, hot.
Hot, hot, hot. Welcome back, team. Luke from Big Game Small Pieces, and tonight I've got three people of all of us are joining here tonight. We've got two extra guest hosts. We've got Mitch, as always, from Among Mates. And
hello. So it's Mitch from Among Mates, who is amongst mates.
Amongst mates. He is definitely amongst mates. And we've also got, for our first third-person review, we've got Froth from Froths Minis. How you going, mate?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. And yourself, guys?
Hey, Froth! We love
Hey.
Froth. Froth
Excellent.
is a genius.
Super excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Very much so. Very much so.
Of course, man. Of course, man. Money's in the mail.
You'll get the check shortly. Right, so tonight we're going to run through the Circle of Wildfire, and we're going to take a bit of an opinion as to what we reckon about them. So, kicking the thing off, starting at second level, you get circle spells. So these are extra spells that are added to your character's class, the spells that you can select from. You know the spells, and that once you've gained them, you have them always prepared. So they're always there as a backup. So that, for starters, is going to help a lot of classes out, and it's quite a regular feature we're seeing now in Tasha's. I don't want to go through them too long, but just to power through them quickly, you've got, at second level, you'll gain Burning Hands and Cure Wounds. These are both great little spells. One is for hurting and one is for healing, such as what the fire cleansing is all about. Third level, you pick up Flaming Sphere and Scorching Ray. Now, Flaming Sphere used to be better in third ed, but Scorching Ray is something that an effective spell for quite some time. Fifth level, you pick up Plant Growth and Revivify. Two good spells, very appropriate for bringing back life after the trauma of fire. Seventh level, you pick up Aura of Life and Fire Shield. And then for your ninth level spells, you pick up Flame Strike and Mass Cure Wounds. Now, the only thing that is missing off this is Fireball that was in the UA but has been removed. So some people aren't going to be happy about that, but Druids aren't just about the fire damage, it's about the cycle of life. So it can't be everything, and for balance purposes, they decided to take that one away. What do you guys reckon about those spells, King?
Circle of life, things burning and recreating. Fantastic. I think that they're pretty cool. I think this is going to be a bit weird, but Burning Hands and Cure Wounds would be really handy if you're a barbarian trying to maintain your rage. But that's completely beside the point.
No, I'm with this. The thing, I actually really like the fact that Fireball isn't in it, because Fireball doesn't feel like a natural flame. That feels like a arcane explosion of fire. Summon Wildfire Spirit. You can summon the primal spirit bound to your soul. As an action, you can expend one of your wild shape feature to summon a wildfire spirit, rather than assuming a beast form. The spirit appears in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you. Each creature within 10 feet of the spirit, other than you, when it appears, must succeed on a dexterity saving throw against your spell DC or take 2d6 fire damage.
Yeah.
The spirit is friendly to you and your companions and obeys your commands. And then we have the stat block below that, which we can put up right. What side am I on? Right over here.
It'll be wherever it goes. No, you're on the wall there. That's Froth. You can't make him the spell.
So put it over Froth's head.
Can
right
do.
now.
Done.
Perfect. Okay. It shares your initiative count. The only action it takes on its turn is dodge action unless you use your bonus action to command it, which is another good thing. That action has to be from the stat block, or obviously with your DM. It lasts for 1 hour until it's reduced to 0 hit points, or until you use this feature to summon the creature again.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. This is the whole part of this class, I feel, and this Wildfire Spirit. We've seen it many times in many genres of fantasy and things like that. And I mean, I'll talk about later of changing it, but I think it's really powerful. Particularly your fiery teleportation. Not just is it damage, but it also helps you teleport and move around the battlefield, which will just help out so many times. Like teleporting freely around the place. Hell yeah.
For a good example of this, look up Little Mister from Critical Role. That is Fern's Wildfire Spirit. Done just amazingly.
Nice. What are you going for?
I think everybody loves some kind of familiar or character other than yourself to be able to play around with. It does provide a really good element for role-playing as well.
It does. I do believe Tasha's has given the druids, as an additional option, the chance to have summon a creature at level 2 instead of using your wild shapes.
I would say it does have some really great condition immunities, though. Immunities from being charmed, frightened, grappled, prone, and restrained. I'd say frightened and being prone are probably, and restrained are some of the more common ones I come across.
Yeah.
And referencing barbarians again, I really hate getting frightened as a barbarian because it makes no logical sense.
It's hard to grapple fire. It doesn't like it.
Enhanced Bond, 6th level Circle of Wildfire feature. The bond with your Wildfire Spirit enhances your destructive and restorative spells. Whenever you cast a spell that deals fire damage or restores hit points, while your Wildfire Spirit is summoned, roll a d8, and you gain a bonus equal to the number rolled to 1 damage or healing roll of that spell. In addition, when you cast a spell with a range or other than self, the spell can originate from you or your Wildfire Spirit. You've got a choice. Excellent.
That's cool.
Excellent.
That's cool. Extra damage ties in with the class. Extra healing ties in with the class, and that you can orientate it from your little fire guy. At level 10, we gain Cauterizing Flame. You gain the ability to turn death into magical flame that can heal or incinerate. When a small or large creature dies, within 30 feet of you or your Wildfire Spirit, a harmless spectral flame springs forth in the dead creature's space and flickers there for 1 minute. When a creature that you can see enters that space, you can use your reaction to extinguish the spectral flame there and either heal the creature or deal fire damage to it. The healing or damage is equal to 2d10 plus your wisdom modifier. This you can use your reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all uses once you finish a long rest. Hey, this is cool. Having to just make sure you remember where the dead creatures are is probably worth putting a mark on the map. But just this little living flame scene. I just wonder, like, can everyone else see that, or is it just you that sees that that little living flame? So that'd be an interesting thing to talk with the DM of exactly what you see. Do you see the flame spirit, or does everyone see the flame spirit now that you're magically emanating?
I like to think that only you see it. I kind of wish this had a radius, though.
30 feet?
I 100% love the idea of hordes of goblins coming. One gets killed, another gets killed, and as they come toward you, it's
Flame.
just like a claymore going off. Just love it.
It reminds me of that movie Spectral and just how they sort of come apart in that movie. And I just got that vision in my head. So another fantastic role play opportunity there for whoever's playing around with that one. Again, it does include the Wildfire Spirit, which is really cool. I guess I'm a little bit confused as to it's dead, and then a flame comes up and you can heal it or do more damage.
I really like that. Like, if they saw one body blow up and then the next one blow up, if they ran over a third body,
it's on
that DM might not be. I think he's sort of being a little bit easy on the players. Blazing Revival. The bond with your Wildfire Spirit can save you from death. If the spirit is within 120 feet of you, when you are reduced to 0 hit points and therefore fall unconscious, you can cause the spirit to drop to 0 hit points instead, and you then regain half your hit points and immediately rise to your feet. Once you use this feature, you cannot use it again until you finish a long rest.
Fantastic. Love that you can do something like this. Love that you can draw in. I'm just imagining you draw the spirit of fire into yourself and it brings you light and your eyes light up in flames and you're like, I'm back. So I can get behind this. This is definitely something I enjoy. And at a level where 14, where some games are still getting into those numbers, it feels like something that might actually come about in a campaign.
I think for a lot of newer players, when we're talking about level 14 spells, as absolutely cool it is, as it is, a lot of newer players might not get the chance to experience that uniqueness unless they're starting off at a high level campaign. But certainly for the more experienced players, definitely something really fun to play around with.
Likes and dislikes. Mitch, what do you like about this class in all? What speaks to you and what doesn't?
I love the cauterizing flame. I love the flame and burn, the reliving, the bringing back to life, the cycle of life.
Yep.
It's like a circle. It's like a circle. It goes round. It's circular. Love that. I have a lot to say about the 14th level ability, but I'll save that until I come back to dislike.
Look, for me, I think it's really all about the excuse me, the creature that you get. The summon Wildfire Spirit. Having something running around that looks like a fox, as per the picture in Tasha's. Doesn't have to be a fox, of course, but something like that is a really cool element for flavor and role play. But also, this does give you a little bit of a tactical advantage as well, being able to cast spells from a different location.
Yeah,
that's probably OP thing for my point of view, especially at a low level.
I like the class. I like a lot of things about it. I wonder how it would go in some other campaigns where, we're talking about a bushfire, and we get those a lot in Australia, how it burns through, and then we get the regrowth and things coming through, and you've got to do this every now and again, or otherwise it's horrendous. But potentially there's also other areas where you could do a slight change on this, such as you could make it frost. Like in the north, the winter comes, it freezes everything over, and everything has to die away, and when it melts, it all comes back. So potentially you could also flip this and make it cold damage.
Here's what I don't like. 14th, we've got Blazing Revival. That should have been gone. It should have got to overcome resistances and immunities. Like they get Divine Strike, Divine Fire, which is half damage goes fire, half damage goes radiant. They could have had overcomes all resistances, something cool that makes their fire burn hotter than all the other fires.
Yeah.
But instead, we've got Blazing Revival, where basically you just stand back up with half your hit points, which the Celestial Warlock at the exact same goddamn level gets Searing Vengeance, which sounds so much goddamn cooler. And you don't need to have a Wildfire Spirit near. You don't need them to be alive. They don't need to be 120 feet from you. And you drop to 0 hit points and come back alive. This one is, if you drop down and make a death saving throw, instead of making the throw, you can stand up and explode back up to half hit points, doing 2d8 plus your charisma modifier damage, and goddamn blinding every single person within the radius that you choose. So all the bad guys, none of the good guys, everyone gets hurt, and you're back up on your feet at half hit points. Kicks the shit out of it.
Character concepts. Mitch, happy to continue on. What do you reckon? How would you play a Wildfire Druid?
Well, listen, in Australia, we've got so much experience with wildfires, and we just, there was just an inspirational leader we in Australia had. And so basically, I would just walk around and say hello to everyone, and I'd cast Cure Wounds by shaking their hands, but everyone would run away, and I'd try and shake their hands.
Political. Topical. Bro, how would you play a Wildfire Druid? What do you reckon the characteristics of your guy would be?
I think that I would. I like the whole curie part of things, being able to do damage and heal at the same time. I think a real crucial part of that, tying in with what I said before, would be to that Wildfire Spirit would be pretty much there almost 24/7, unless I'm trying to stealth, and just trying to play those two off each other would be my main strategy.
Yep.
I think the other stuff's just some cool bonuses, really.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting little abilities there that we've gone over. I think I don't know how these guys would mess. Like all druids could be a step off from the party in terms of social, but this one would see like let's just destroy the thing, and whatever comes out will be better. So it'd be almost be a chaotic, well, seemingly chaotic to other people, but it's quite a lawful, normal process. So I see a druid that might be sitting there at the bar and have no problems with letting the thing burn down, or not being a very what's that aspect when you're a nihilist or something like that. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, we're just going to burn this place down in the end, and then it's all going to grow back up in 100 years. Like, it'll be a forest, no one will know. So I can see
this mad vision in my head of someone at a tavern now,
yeah,
sitting down with a mug of ale, and as they pick up their ale and drink it, steam just sort of comes out, and as they leave the bar, there's these two scorch marks where their forearms and elbows have been sitting. So that's definitely a bit of flavour there.
yeah,
I think that fiery teleportation with the spirits, like a bit OP there, because you can run it into battle, get everyone to follow it, get them in the position that you want them in, or the party wants them in, and bing, we're out of there.
Yeah.
Tricked you.
Yeah.
And then lay some landmines with some dead bodies. It's all coming together.
I would have loved to see a spell like the one that's come up in the new school one, where basically you cast a spell on two people that are like grappling and suck the life energy from one into the other. Some sort of amazing heal damage spell. I would have loved to see something like life transference between two individuals.
But not necessarily yourself. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so player tips. If I was to talk about tips for a player, I would say definitely lean heavily upon your Wildfire Spirit, particularly their fiery teleportation. If there's more than one creature to hit, then chances are people are going to fail that save, and you're going to hit more than one person, which is going to do the same damage on multiple people as opposed to just targeting a single person with that flame seed. So that'd definitely be a big one to use, and taking full use, as Froths was saying, about making sure this Wildfire Spirit's a big part of your character. That stick with that. It's an aspect that's given to you right from the start, and it's something I think is really worth experimenting with and developing.
I think as a player as well, just noting that Wildfire Spirit, it does have a fly ability, not full flight, but hover. So that could also help out in some tricky situations if you get some puzzling or strategic type situations you're faced with. So that's a little bit of a boon there too.
Yeah, I would say player tips. I'd say one, definitely take Elemental Adept to get that overcoming resistances, because that is amazing. Like,
it's a good one.
Yeah, it should have been in the kit, and since it's not, try and take it variant human or custom lineage straight up, just to make everyone understand that your fire is the best fire.
For DMs, if you've got one of these in your game and one of your players is playing this, then make your, I say this on a lot of them, make some of your areas dynamic. The ability to teleport in and out and on top of things and around will really let everyone see that this class is kick-ass, and that starts real early. So I'm even thinking back to things like Phandelver. Some of the adventures there have chasms and gaps, and just being able to teleport across things will really make people look at you and be like, damn, you've got it. Like, you can get around and do things. So giving your player the ability to run up with his flaming dog, flaming squirrel, flaming whatever he's using, and jump and teleport over there, leaving flaming bursts, like, so cool. Like, give them the opportunity to maximum effect out of that, and everyone will be looking at going like, we all want to play that class now.
I'd say as a DM, things to think about would be, if you're running a campaign and you might have some preset maps or locations or areas where players are not meant to go, this could create a bit of a problem for you with that hover and fly scenario, as well as darting around. If you're running tabletop gaming online, with things like dynamic vision, and then these creatures darting around in lots of different locations might be a little bit heavy on the software application and your computer, so keep that in mind. Other than that, I would certainly encourage the players to just flavor up as much as possible. It's just such a good flavor opportunity for people to role play out, so get amongst it, I'd say.
Yeah,
definitely. I would say, as a DM, you need to talk to your player and establish what this creature is, in the sense of, does it give off light? Can it touch objects without setting them on fire? Can it touch anyone but you without setting them on fire? Because this one does say everyone within 10 feet other than you, which means if you summon it on you and your teammates, is that going to hurt them, or are they included in that, hey, we're not going to blow them up? So these sort of conversations are very important, because at low levels, you could literally kill your teammates.
Figure it out early, yeah.
Figure it out early. And the biggest point is, don't try and recreate Little Mister from Critical Role. Talk to your DM, talk to your players. It might be a good thing to let one of your fellow players play as your creature if you are going to talk between each other, or let the DM do it. It just depends, but have the conversation. Establish the rules of what's going to happen, who's going to take control of it, whether it's going to be autonomous, whether you're going to control it, the DM, or another player.
All right, well, we've come to the end. I dare say we're pushing for time, so we'll wrap this up. First of all, I'd like to thank my two guest stars for appearing. We've got Froth from Froths Minis. Do you want to let us know what you're doing on your channel and what you're up to, mate?
Yeah, certainly. So on the stream, I'm doing a stream on Sunday nights at the moment, because that's the only time when no one else is streaming at the moment, because there's just so much good content out there. Just painting some miniatures and chilling out and having a bit of a chat about D&D stuff, and basically whatever comes up. Not high pressure, not the best painter in the world, but just a bit of fun and kicking around.
Is there good music?
Yeah, there's some good music. Yeah, I try to find royalty-free music so that we're not breaking any rules out there, but I'm more than happy to support artists wherever they may be.
Sounds good. And Mitch, what are you up to?
I play D&D on my channel, Twitch channel, Modbrew, MODBREW, but it is loosely based on D&D because I introduce a lot of people to the game, which means spending time on things like rules and stuff. We don't worry about it. Most people just play as themselves, and then I throw them into zombie situations where they get to blow stuff up with rocket launchers, grenade launchers, laser beams, all sorts of stuff. And this Thursday night, I believe we are going to the supernatural universe. Carry on my wayward son, and fighting some demons, Phasmophobia style. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Oh, hell yes.
Nice, that'll be cool. Well, if you're already on here, you already know what I'm doing, so you found my YouTube stuff. I'm also on Discord and a number of different things. All the links are down below for all myself and my guests. And hopefully we'll catch up with you next time. Hopefully enjoy this and sticking around to find out which class is best for you. Thank you.
Check out our OnlyFans account, 3 Guys, 1 Cup.
Yeah, it's we finally branched out. We figured out what that name meant.
With Wildfire Spirit.
Catch us all later.